I let my sister move into my house. Then I found cameras outside my bedroom. I never thought I'd question my own safety inside my own house. But that's exactly what happened. 6 months ago, my younger sister, Chloe, showed up at my door with 2 suitcases and tears running down her face. "I have nowhere else to go," she said. I'm 32. She's 27. Growing up, Chloe was always the dramatic one, the charming one, the one who could twist any situation in her favor. But she was still my sister. She said her boyfriend kicked her out, so I let her move into my house. My wife, Megan, wasn't thrilled. "She always brings chaos," she told me. "She's family," I said. That sentence would come back to haunt me. At first, everything seemed normal. Chloe stayed in the guest room. She said she was job hunting. She helped cook. She even cleaned sometimes. But something felt off. 2 weeks after she moved in, I came home early from work. I work in IT, so sometimes I leave before anyone expects me. The house was quiet, too quiet. Megan was still at work. Chloe's door was closed. As I walked past the hallway closet near our bedroom, I heard a soft clicking sound, like plastic snapping into place. It came from inside the closet. I opened it. Nothing obvious at first, but then I saw it. A tiny black device on the top shelf, with a blinking red light, pointed directly at my bedroom door. My heart dropped. I grabbed it immediately. It was a small hidden camera. I checked our bedroom. Another one, on the bookshelf, pointed at our bed. I felt sick. I didn't say anything at first. I waited until Megan got home. When I showed her, she went pale. We both knew who it was. We confronted Chloe that night. She didn't even look shocked. "It's not what you think," she said calmly. "That's always what people say when it's exactly what you think." She claimed she was filming social experiments about family trust. Inside my bedroom, without my permission, I lost it. "You put cameras in my room? They weren't filming anything inappropriate," she snapped. Relax. Relax. Like I was overreacting. I told her to remove everything immediately. She rolled her eyes but agreed. The next day, she acted like nothing happened. But it didn't end there. 3 days later, a coworker sent me a message. "Hey man, is this your sister?" There was a link attached. I clicked it. It was her TikTok account. She had been posting videos about me, about how I control my wife, about how she feels unsafe living with us, about how she discovered dark secrets in our house. She never showed the cameras, but she hinted at things, implied things. People in the comments were calling me abusive, manipulative, toxic. Some even said Megan should leave me. I felt like my world was spinning. She was building a story, a fake narrative, in my own house. When I confronted her, she didn't deny it. "It's my experience," she said. "You're lying. It's content." Content. That word made my blood boil. Megan said something I'll never forget. "You're trying to ruin our marriage for followers." Chloe didn't argue. She just smiled slightly. That was when I realized something terrifying. This wasn't about needing a place to stay. It wasn't about survival. It was about attention. And she didn't care who she destroyed to get it. That night, Megan and I made a decision. Chloe had 1 week to move out. She screamed, cried, accused me of always hating her. She said I was jealous of her success. She had 15,000 followers. Apparently that meant more than family. The week was chaos, but the day before she was supposed to leave, the police knocked on our door. And that's when I realized she had planned something much worse. The knock on the door wasn't aggressive, but it was firm. The kind of knock that makes your stomach drop before your brain understands why. I remember looking at Megan. She was already pale. Chloe was upstairs in the guest room. I opened the door and saw 2 officers standing on the porch. "Are you Daniel Carter?" one of them asked. My throat felt dry. "Yes." "We need to ask you a few questions." Megan stepped closer behind me. "What is this about?" The older officer glanced at his partner, then back at me. "We received a report." My heart started pounding. A report of what? He hesitated just long enough to make it worse. Allegations of hidden surveillance and coercive behavior inside this residence. I felt like the ground shifted under my feet. Megan immediately said, "This is about Chloe, isn't it?" The officers didn't answer directly. "Can we come in?" I stepped aside. Chloe came down the stairs slowly, wearing an oversized sweater. Eyes already glossy like she'd rehearsed this moment. "Oh my God," she whispered when she saw the police. The performance had begun. The officers asked to speak with her privately. She nodded, trembling slightly. I watched her shoulders shake as she spoke. I couldn't hear everything, but I caught phrases. I didn't feel safe. He gets angry. There were cameras. Cameras. She flipped it. She turned it around. After 15 minutes, one officer approached me again. She claims you installed surveillance devices in her room without consent. I actually laughed, not because it was funny, because it was insane. She installed cameras in my bedroom, I said. We found them. Megan backed me up immediately. We have the devices. The officers asked to see them. I brought out the small cameras I'd placed in a drawer after unplugging them. The younger officer inspected them carefully. Where exactly were these located? One in the hallway closet, one inside our bedroom. The older officer looked at Chloe. She was crying harder now. He moved them, she said through tears. He put them in my room and then moved them when I confronted him. The boldness of it stunned me. She had rehearsed this. Megan squeezed my hand so tightly it hurt. The officers separated us for questioning. I told them everything. From the day she moved in to the TikTok videos. I showed them the account. I showed them the dates of the Amazon deliveries under Chloe's name. I even showed them the packaging in the trash. Megan confirmed every detail. Meanwhile, Chloe kept repeating one phrase. He intimidates me. That word stuck in the air like poison. After nearly an hour, the officers stepped outside to talk privately. I could see them through the window. Megan was shaking. She's trying to destroy you, she whispered. I nodded. I finally understood something. This wasn't about followers anymore. This was escalation. If she could make me look dangerous, she could become the victim publicly. Victims get sympathy. Victims get engagement. Victims go viral. The officers came back in. At this time, the older one said carefully, there's insufficient evidence to proceed with charges. However, we strongly recommend resolving this situation immediately. He looked directly at Chloe. You need to find alternative housing. She stared at the floor, silent. They left. The door closed. Silence filled the house. Then Chloe stopped crying instantly. No sniffles, no shaking, just calm. You really think you've won? She said softly. Megan stepped between us. Pack your things. Chloe tilted her head. You don't understand how this works. What does that mean? I asked. She smiled faintly. It means the internet already believes me. That night she went live on TikTok. I know because my phone exploded with notifications. She filmed herself crying in the guest room, suitcase visible in the background. I'm being forced out, she told her followers. I tried to stay quiet, but I can't anymore. She didn't say my name directly. She didn't have to. The comments were brutal. People started messaging my workplace. Someone left a 1-star review on Megan's small online craft store. Strangers were calling me a predator. Within 48 hours, the situation spiraled beyond our walls. My manager called me into his office. Daniel, is there something you need to tell me? He showed me screenshots of Chloe's videos. I explained everything. I showed him proof. He listened carefully. I believe you, he said, but this is becoming public. That word again. Public. That's what Chloe wanted. Attention at scale. When I got home that evening, Chloe's room was empty. She had left early. No goodbye, no confrontation, just gone. But the silence felt heavier than her presence ever had. I thought maybe that was the end. I was wrong. 3 days later, a new video went viral. Not just thousands of views, hundreds of thousands. In it, Chloe claimed she had evidence she couldn't legally share yet. She said authorities were looking into it. That was technically true. They had shown up. She never lied outright. She implied. She planted seeds. And the internet filled in the rest. Megan started having panic attacks. She couldn't sleep. I barely ate. Then came the message that changed everything. It was from an anonymous account. Check your attic. That was it. No explanation. Just that. I showed Megan. We both stared at each other. Slowly, I grabbed the ladder and climbed into the attic. It was dusty, barely used for storage. Old boxes, holiday decorations, nothing unusual. I almost climbed back down. Then I saw something wedged between insulation beams. Another camera. This one different. Higher quality. Still recording. My stomach turned. I brought it down carefully. She never stopped, Megan whispered. The device had a micro SD card inside. I hesitated before plugging it into my laptop. Part of me didn't want to know, but I had to. The footage loaded. Hours of recordings, the hallway, the living room, even parts of our bedroom from angles I didn't recognize. She had been collecting content, not for posting, for leverage. Then I found a folder labeled Edit 1. Inside were clips, carefully cut moments, me raising my voice during an argument, Megan crying after reading hateful comments. Ordinary marital tension reframed to look sinister. She had been manufacturing a narrative from raw footage. I felt cold all over. "This is defamation," Megan said quietly. "No, it was strategy." And that's when I made a decision. If Chloe wanted the internet involved, she was about to get the full story. I contacted a lawyer the next morning, a defamation and cyber harassment specialist. I brought every device, every screenshot, every saved video. He reviewed everything carefully. "She's smart," he said finally. "She avoids direct accusations, she implies." "Can we stop her?" I asked. "Yes," he said, "but it won't be quiet." That was fine. Quiet had nearly destroyed me already. We drafted a cease and desist letter. We prepared documentation showing she purchased the cameras. We archived every TikTok video before she could delete them. Meanwhile, her follower count passed 200,000. She posted emotional updates daily, each one carefully vague. The truth will come out. I'm protecting myself. Narcissists hate losing control. The comments painted me as a monster. Strangers were debating my personality, my morality, my marriage, without knowing me at all. Then something unexpected happened. A former friend of Chloe's reached out privately. "I think you should know." The message began. "We met at a coffee shop. Her name was Lila. She looked nervous. She did something similar to her ex," Lila said. "Not with cameras, but with online narratives. She showed me screenshots from a year ago. Chloe accusing another man of emotional abuse. The pattern was identical. Vague claims, crying videos, rapid follower growth, then a quiet disappearance when people started asking for proof. My lawyer's eyes lit up when he saw it. Pattern behavior," he said. We moved forward. The cease and desist was delivered. Chloe responded within hours with another video. "He's trying to silence me legally," she cried. Typical. But something had shifted. People started asking questions in her comments. "Where's the proof? Why no charges? Why did the police leave?" The narrative wasn't airtight anymore. Then my lawyer filed a formal complaint for harassment and defamation. This time, we weren't reacting. We were documenting. Weeks passed. The court date was scheduled. Chloe's posting slowed slightly. The emotional tone became sharper. Less crying, more anger. "They're attacking a survivor," she said in one live stream. That word again, survivor. It generated sympathy instantly. But then came the mistake she didn't anticipate. During one late-night live stream, she forgot to mute a call. A male voice could be heard in the background laughing. "This is blowing up better than we thought," he said. "Just wait until court." The clip was screen recorded by viewers within minutes. It spread rapidly. Suddenly, the tone shifted online. People questioned her authenticity. Engagement turned into scrutiny. The court hearing wasn't dramatic. It was procedural. Evidence was presented. Purchase records, footage metadata, the attic camera, the edited clips. Chloe avoided eye contact the entire time. Her lawyer argued creative expression. Mine argued calculated harassment. The judge didn't look impressed. A temporary restraining order was granted. She was ordered to remove defamatory content pending investigation. For the first time in months, I felt air return to my lungs. Outside the courthouse, reporters weren't waiting. It wasn't that big, but online the shift was undeniable. Chloe's followers dropped. Videos analyzing inconsistencies went viral. Commentary channels dissected her story. The very internet she tried to weaponize turned analytical. Then she did what she always does. She disappeared, account deleted, silence, just like that. But the damage didn't vanish overnight. Megan and I started therapy, not because we were broken, but because we had been under siege. Trust needed rebuilding, not between us, but in our environment. Months later, life became quiet again. Ordinary, boring, peaceful. Sometimes I still check social media out of habit. Her name pops up occasionally on new accounts. New narratives, different cities, same tone. I don't engage, I don't react. Because I learned something important. Some people don't want resolution, they want attention. And the worst thing you can do to someone addicted to attention is stop giving it to them. The cameras are gone, the locks are changed, the attic is empty, and for the first time since that knock on the door, my house feels like mine again.